Hello and welcome back to Stellaris, not Sins of the Solar, it's Stellaris with the Stargate Universe mods. We are playing as the Asurans. I think we've met everyone now. There might be a couple of other people we've not quite met, but we've got the galactic community on the go. And at the minute, we are wanting to get some new ships and stuff. Get that moving. That's all upgraded. Research what we do. Hull points, shield hit points, sorry, that'd be good. Gate insight was needed to be done, so we'll see when this has got in 3 months' time. Pop demotion, that'll be useful. How are we looking population wise? You've got a lot of space to fill. You've got a few little bits, you're okay in that. Okay, let's pause and speed things back up. Science ships, we've got one science ship over here at our archaeological site. We're going to send you over, research that afterwards. Still got one exploring. Another one, you're mopping up these little anomalies and stuff like that back here. Yep, let's carry on. We also want to try and get exotic gases when we can. We've got another one there. Empire Sprawl, let's bring that down a bit more as well. 82. It's decent. We can grab the rest of this debris analysed. Thank you for that. New research. Pause. Could go for crystalline fused plating. Iron thrusters could be pretty good. Reinforced ship hull, I would like, and this robo modding, but the engineering researchers boost would be very nice. Iron thrusters also might be quite useful. Right, we're going to go through the machine mods because we're going to go change yourselves up somehow. Right, you get down there and research that. Yeah, I wanna see if we can get some good changes on there. Oh, that'll be nice. Chemical plants. Don't overly need the moats. Let's get the weapon upgrades. Need to get ourselves to be more of a force to be reckoned with out there. Got 4 available jobs. Nearly got going on to building slot as well, so once that happened. This derelict station was once known as the Star Petal, and it was apparently a celebrated luxury resort in this corner of the galaxy nearly 1,000 years ago. A small fleet of tugs would drag the station to a new exotic location each year, but Terrazid 4 appears to have been its last. For unclear reasons, the station was pulled into the gaseous atmosphere, where it suffered critical damage. Curious. Keep looking into that. Do we want to go and mop up all the rest of this? Yeah, we'll extend the deal, please, for your little scientific boost. Population time will drop. The archaeologists working on the Star Petal have gathered sufficient clues and evidence to paint a reasonably clear picture of the station's final days. A stray asteroid impacted the station, knocking it into an orbit which would soon plunge it into Terrazid 4's atmosphere. Station keeping thrusters could not compensate, and the command staff soon issued an evacuation order. Unfortunately, the station only had enough escape pods to evacuate a fraction of its passengers, and mass panic soon erupted. Those who were not trampled to death perished, and the station's environmental systems failed as it drifted deeper into the gas giant. Curious. Find out a bit more information. You've got building slot. Would like an uplink mode.
Technological acquisition successful.
Oh no, you're meant to be paused. Energy grid, crystal mines. Are you getting crystals? No. Let's get them because I think they start to affect ship upgrades. Pod demotion. Transitive halter should be good. Fleet command limit is something that I really want, so let's queue that up. Situation log. There's a couple of little things we could be doing. Yeah, construction ship, let's get you on that. Series of deep boreholes on the surface of Veldaram 3 Alpha are all that remain of the Eurasian mining operation that was active on this world some 1.2 million years ago. The ISS investigator has conducted a thorough surface scan, but we have yet to find the remains of any actual mining facilities. Peculiar. Yep. Research that project while you're there.
Executing evasion protocols.
I imagine you will probably be heading home. Well, now. This wormhole would be interesting if it was one of the ones connected to us. Oh, yeah. You can find a way through. That's good. And the archaeological gas giant destructor. Rummaging through the secure safes where the Star Petal's wealthiest clientele stored their personal belongings has revealed a treasure trove of strange artifacts and jewellery. Perhaps the most noteworthy among the found items is the Heart of the Pulsar, a unique diamond necklace quite famous in its day for having been worn by 5 different heads of state. Is that meant to be like a Titanic reference? I've just realised this is a Titanic thing, isn't it? Okay. That probably shouldn't have took me that long to realise. Let's go and research that project now.
Construction complete. Special project complete.
Investigating the boreholes on Veldaram 3 Alpha, our archaeologists found the fossilised remains of over 100 Eurasian miners at the bottom of one of them. They appear to be more victims of the Javorian pox that brought about the fall of the Eurasian Concordat. In a futile attempt to keep the disease from spreading, their comrades dumped the bodies down one of the boreholes before the moon was excavated. That's interesting. Right, where are you off to next? There. Right here as well. You'll probably get that one. Put the research station. A lot of physics research around here, and that in physics research is the one we don't really need. Oh. Got some more stuff down there we can hook up. Right, let's probably run the birth of the galactic market. Where are nomination? Understood. Pause.
Construction complete. Special project complete.
Ah, there we go. Boost nomination. Boost nomination. Our scientists have returned from the Zvan labs unscathed with footage collected from the facility's security cameras. It shows lab scientists bound and gagged as guerrilla soldiers pry open the weapon strongbox, but to their dismay, the box is empty. Only minutes later, the rebels can be seen writhing on the floor in intense agony, dark patches swelling across their bodies, then their skin rips and a grey, unidentified matter spills out. The matter continues to expand, swelling hypnotically around them until one of the scientists activates the emergency system. Sprinklers douse the room in liquid and an electrical surge passes through it, executing all living things. Here the footage ends. Our crew can confirm that the strongbox was indeed empty. Super solid materials. As the crew returning from the Zvan labs were decontaminated, we identified an alien substance on their protective wear. Upon closer examination, it is proven to be fragments of microscopic robots turned into a fine-grade dust. Among the samples we found intact nanite carrying instructions for attaching bolts to a structure we believe could be a gateway. The molecular construct maybe have had an integral part in assembling the entire gateway network. Fortuitous. So you're done there. Let's get you onto that anomaly. Oh, we've got one up here as well. You've done there. Do we want to go and connect all these? What's there on the L cluster? For the past 42 years and 3 days, researchers on Asurans have eagerly anticipated the canon of the mysterious atomic clock of prodigious precision found on Dressel 3 Alpha. Now several decades worth of heated speculation and conjecture have evaporated in an instant along with most of Dressel 3. As the clock reached its momentous deadline, it transmitted a signal to a receiver on Dressel 3, triggering a thermonuclear explosion of such devastating power it laid waste to the entire planet. While our scientists conjecture as to the reason behind this carefully timed act of annihilation, the atomic clock continues to tick undisturbed by the desolation below. Unfortunately, where's Dressel? Can we dress? Oh, there we go. Over there. Oh, so it's not changed anything in there. Okay. I might like add an extra mineral thing or something, but yeah, let's pull you back here. Connect those.
Technological acquisition successful.
Yes, Stargate activation. Anything else? Pop assembly speed would also be good, but yeah, Stargate activation, let's get that. And create a template. So not affected by happiness. Also, they've got nothing. We can just add anything on, really. So we've got 3 trait points. Well, reducing empire sprawl would be good. Quite like the research one. And upkeep. Oh, we're going to get empire sprawl and pop assembly speed. Apply template. Oh, that's a lot of. It is the Stargate activation.
Situation
Let's apply that. Get that researched. Debris from what must have been a massive orbital installation has been discovered above Werthosk 4. Artifacts recovered amongst the debris have confirmed that this space station served as the headquarters of the Asurans Concord, its authority of disease control, some 1.2 million years ago. The Asurans were far more susceptible to alien disease than most known species, and the budget of their public health institute nearly rivaled that of their military. Despite this, surviving records show that the entire species perished from the Javorian pox. Interesting. Right, research this project. Asgard. Okay.
Technological acquisition successful.
As I've got the pulse. Ooh, ancient beam weapon. hyperdrive would be good. Auxiliary fire control really good. So much. 164 months. Let's get the hyperdrives. And
Successful.
we've got the fleet command. And let's get fleet command up again. Ship designers. Let's get these put on where we can.
Special project complete.
Can we? No, we can't afford those. Can't we, if we put one more of those on? There we go. Archaeological project completed. We recovered the remnants of several research logs from the Dree field above Orthosk 4. Their final entries are all focused on finding a cure for the Javorian pox that was sweeping across the Russian Concordia. They grow increasingly desperate as the situation worsened. The last entry reveals that the pox had spread in an uncontrolled fashion on the space station itself. An attachment details all of their failed attempts to produce a cure in the vain hope that the data would be useful for future generations of Irasian scientists. So that's there. Right. Yeah, but you can come up there and research that anomaly now. And we'll get you upgraded. A derelict Irasian cruiser has been left forgotten for over a million years in close orbit around Asgard 2. The slowly spinning vessel shows no obvious signs of weapon damage and all escape pods remain accounted for. As would be expected, no power signatures can be detected from within its hull. There we go. Get that research, please. And we'll see if that... Irasians... Oh no, it needs 6. So we'll be halfway through. We can also look at getting a few more ships in here. So there's no session. Is there anything we've not voted on? Don't think so.
Special project complete.
The inside of the Irasian cruiser found orbiting Asgard 2 contains the dead remains of its full crew complement. Most of them perished as a result of the Javorian pox that would later render the Irasians extinct. But some of the crew were gunned down by marine guards while trying to reach the escape pods. According to recovered log files, the captain issued strict orders to quarantine the ship after the outbreak became apparent. Interesting find. Right, so we can get into their territory. Is there any anomalies around here we want to be looking at? I don't think so. So let's get you to Asurans. And you can assist in research there. Oh, there's this one here. Oh, there's a few that we've totally missed out. Yours, you've got something. Build. Let's get more ally foundries. Five months left in that. Construction ship's done over there. Yeah, let's get you to build this. And fleet manager. Get the destroyers up to 10. To start with, and we'll see how much room we've got next. Modification is complete. So you're now on the Stargate activation. I think it's a research boost though with Stargate activation. We've got 2, haven't we? So, is there any need for that plan? Deep within a crevice of the giant asteroid F29937, we have found something astonishing. There is mining gear attached to the rock, digging itself into the vast depths of the asteroid. It stands abandoned with no sign of who placed it there. If we can stop the machine, we might be able to learn something about the technologies to build it, but we must hurry before random debris crushes it. Let's... I was meant to click the other one. That's kind of annoying. Go back and research that. Oh, what a stupid misclick that was. So the Pebed Democratic Stars has finally embraced the faction, adopting their core values. Okay. Are we better off actually, rather than connecting up these, are we better off going over here and getting all this? Probably, because we could move, we could get more exploration out, couldn't we? Let's get the antimatter reactor. I would go for the research boost, but yeah, I think we're probably better off connecting up around here, getting out of the L gate, because that's got dark matter, hasn't it? And like things like this, that's quite a good research boost there. The Rigging Commerce Exchange, well met, thank you very much. Yeah, and if we can get out around here. How did they not use this route? Yeah, we'll be able to like clear these out and get around. Active scans of Hurlier 2 have picked up what appears to be a large ship design inside the atmosphere. Like a giant. I think we've done one of these before. Bring it up. Yeah, get research that. Yeah, that's how we got that other ship, isn't it? We can get a lot more ships. Right, yeah, build these. And we're going to get you over here.
System survey complete.
You're still doing alright down here, aren't you?
Special project complete.
Well, not totally last, but got a long way to go. In a masterful display of engineering, the team under Science Officer Unit C8 has managed to gently raise the derelict ship under Hurlier 2 to the gas giant's upper atmosphere. Despite its age, the ancient cruiser is in remarkably good condition. We have restored power to its systems. No trace of the original crew remains, but we have brought over our own and commissioned the ship into the fleet. Excellent. Get over there. Can't merge.
Diplomatic alert. Military
War
communication.
declaration. Okay. Oh, you are an ancient starship as well, but can't see anything from you. Head to Asurans, anyway. Is it design? No, it's not design. We can do anything. It's quite strange. The market powers that be have seen fit to centralise much of their activity. Yes. We've got the galactic market.
Complete. Technological acquisition successful.
Fleet command. Let's get the starbase capacity up. So we can now buy and trade stuff like that. Right, add a new sell. Yeah, sell 10 minerals. Oh, we've got another one. By don't really need anything. Let's just leave that for now. The investigator has picked up some curious readings from Terra Z2. There are significant pockets of radiation in the gas giant's atmosphere that appear to be the result of intense orbital bombardment. What someone could hope to gain by bombing a gas giant from orbit remains a mystery, however. As the ISIS investigator was preparing to break orbit, Science Officer Unit CA discovered a weak signal coming from the planet's interior. Maybe a transmission of some kind, but the gas giant's background radiation makes it difficult. We should investigate the signal. Research that, please. Construction ship you've done now, so let's build you up, bring you over there. And let's sell some more of that. Let's buy some. Sell a few more minerals. That's population of 4.1. The matriarch, the creature of legend, swims luxuriously between the gas giants in the M3Y465 system. Let's go there. Gigantic unexploded proto-torpedoes logged in the venerable creature's back. The fragile remains of the ships of the system speak of what? Incredible. All the way over there. That's good. I don't have to worry about it. Information received. Thank you.
Special project complete.
I say the weak signal is coming from somewhere deep inside the atmosphere. I told you that it is indeed. Does it indeed appear to be a transmission? It may have filtered through our translation software on screen. Finally, we're met Spacefarer. We are the Dathnak, and the planet you are orbiting is Tolok, our ancestral home. It was always riveting to meet a solid, even in our last encounter with your kind was somewhat problematic. You have no doubt detected the radiation charges coming from our atmosphere. Tolok is dying, and our species will perish unless we find a new home. We've identified a planet that would suit our physiology, but we have no means to get there. Sadly, our non-corporeal nature means we don't have much in the way of industry or technology. Will you help us? Yes, and hopefully soon. Don't worry, there aren't too many of us. Most Dathnak died when our planet was bombarded, and those who survived retreated deeper into the atmosphere. Communication with the surface is difficult and the radiation is spreading. We don't have much time. I think we're going to do this. We're going to risk this one. I think this will be interesting. Right, where? Scientist present. So you research that project. I think this is probably going to backfire. Because I think I've seen a similar thing like this before. But who knows? We'll see about that. Right, head up over there, because I'm going to set you to auto explore because you can get this one, and you should be able to go around. 7 months on Stargate activation. Antimatter reactor is going to be a big thing. And it would also be good to get some research over here. Let's make that 20.
System survey complete.
Okay. Science Officer Unit F4 has finished supervising the relocation of the Dathnak to their new home. A convoy of civilian freighters equipped with massive pressurized gas tanks ferried the gaseous beings across space and deposited them into the gas giant's atmosphere. The ancient transmitter and scanner array were also brought along. Hail them. We're forever in your debt. This planet has exceeded our expectations. For the first time generations are young and frolic in the upper atmosphere without starting to glow. We have decided to call our new home Baldarak after your species. Future generations of Dathnak shall always know the same of their saviours. Really, I could have sort of, but it can be difficult to tell you solids apart. I'm afraid if it's too late to change the name now, it has a nice ring to it, though, don't you think? Good luck with your new home. Thank you again, my dear friends. May the atmospheric current always keep you aloft. Well, go on, assist that research again. Shipyard. Build, make construction ship quickly. Stargate activation is finished. Cruiser research. Let's get that finished. That's a nice 25 energy we're getting there. Construction ship. Build that research. It appears that a mischievous third party was able to hack into the translation software of the Volutarian envoy to Asurans, Roa Nafibor, so that instead of uttering magnanimous platitudes, she began spewing vicious insult that left none unscathed. The malfunction in her equipment was duly uncovered, but not before Control Hub Oberoth was declared to be the vile tin can. A grave insult which surely calls for a response. Well, that was funny. Yep, there we go. Get back to exploring.
System survey complete. Construction complete.
The construction over here is done. Built the mining stations. Yeah, we'll come down to Wrestle here, you can grab that. And then probably cut up to Arbitraris. And we'll go from there. Got one away. Those. I believe it's not got any weapons or anything.
Ship augmentation is completed.
You've done disband you now. That's quite a nice boost to society research there. And we'll get another archaeological site as well.
Technological acquisition successful.
Starbase capacity's done. Yeah, let's get the simulation center. Someone else has got a new cultural thing. After that, that's that. And that's the antimatter reactor. Research complexes, yes, get those upgraded. And back into ship designer. There we go. We want all in mod weaponry. We would like to extend our deal again very much. Extra 10% research speed, that is crazily good. I'm also going to finally get around to setting up upgrading star bases. So we could do with a couple around, especially like gates and wormholes. Get you upgraded as well.
System survey complete.
could really do with exotic gas extraction. We'll see what it's like on this one. And I have run over. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Again, quite a slow build up. We have got a new thing. We wanted to get research labs here, didn't we? Yes. We put one of those in now. Yeah, it does tend to grind to a halt a bit, I think, on Stellaris after a while, but these guys are our rivals, so we could fleet power is equivalent. The 9 any kind of pack, so we could think about going to war with them at some point, make things a little bit more interesting. I think that will probably come to pass as soon as we start moving this side. Especially since they're very close over here. So we shall see how that goes. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below everything that I've been doing wrong, and I will see you again in the next one.